Okay, so I can hear what you're saying, and this is your chance to give Jesus a good, a good kicking before he gives you a good kicking, right? Right. So it's always bad theology that is your downfall. It is always bad theology that leads you into our traps. Um, so here are a few things for you to meditate on or think on if you do such things. First of all, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Do you remember that? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Okay, so you know what you do, because we made sure of that by making sure that this prophecy, this Shalom prophecy, my testimony of who I am, at the very least a prophet, but pretty obviously more, was delivered right in front of you, so you couldn't miss it. Right in front, papal mass, historic event, 1982, high visibility Catholics. Very lots of people wrote it down. So you'd have no excuse. So first of all, you need to realise that forgive them, Father, for they know not what to do, does not apply to you lot. We made sure of that. Okay, so you know what you do. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is what was happening with regards to the crucifixion. Well, first of all, there was a need for the Creator God to show that he was prepared to share in extremes of suffering, because in this world, people who don't deserve to suffer. You understand? So there is a necessity for a contrast of experience, even to extremes, because there can be no true experience without a contrast to measure it against. So we have to live in a world where there is a yin and a yang, polar extremes, and it is from the experience of those extremes that we can experience extreme contrast, like for example love and joy and happiness. And so I don't know how many theologians actually express that, but it's obviously very important to me to show that if I've created a world in which people who don't deserve to suffer, that I'm also prepared to suffer. Okay, so really, when I'm thinking back at the crucifixion, that and what happened, and the fact that I was left there for so long, but I was watching a Muslim yesterday saying, talking about the allegory of Jonah. Jesus didn't die. Jesus was never dead. This is in the belly of the. This Muslim was saying, well, Jonah was still alive in the belly of the fish, in the belly of the whale, and Jesus was dead. No, Jesus was dead to you. You thought he was dead. I can't die. Yeah, that's the thing. I can't die. So I don't know what. But the sign of Jonah is the Turin shroud. Which is, like I said before, it is actually really Jesus. It's actually really me. Okay, we left you that as a sign for wicked generation. So the only sign you're going to get. But the Catholic Church play it down. Okay, so that's the first thing. So be careful if you want to come and give me a good kick in. That you're not actually playing into a trap, because by the measure ye meet as well. Should we just remind you here with some Bible basics? By the measure you meet. So what do I mean when previously I've said before, and I've freely admitted it. I'm being honest with you. Yeah, we say things for your own good that I suppose is a bluff in as much as obviously the Amalek is another example. You have to control people, unfortunately, by fear. Sometimes that's the only thing they understand. I wish it wasn't, but unfortunately, for certainly primitive cultures, which is why the Old Testament is written in such a way, It is the only thing they understand, unfortunately. So we're going to use whatever works. We're going to do and use whatever we think we've got a chance of working. So obviously, the Amalek gives the impression that God is quite happy for people to go and wipe out, genocide, wipe out every man, woman, child, and livestock, and but we're transferring the meaning. So the meaning is being transferred from the literal to the symbolic. Most Jews understood that, fortunately, because this is an intentional paradox. If one part of the Bible says don't kill, and the other part, and some other part of the Bible is saying go and slaughter everyone in a genocide, then this is an intentional contradiction, and you're supposed to resolve that contradiction by reading the, well, like I said before, wars, genocides, creations, exoduses, everything, is transferred to its spiritual correspondence, right? So with the Amalek, obviously, if God's telling you to wipe out in a literal war, then obviously you're going to be thinking here, okay, so what does Amalek really represent as a spiritual correspondent? So it represents doubts. You could call that a bluff, and also the lake of fire. The lake of fire, hell itself, and hell is the grave, is cast into the lake of fire. So again, we do play around with the illusion to start with of a pagan hell, because, like I say, the fear is the beginning of wisdom. But like I say, but you Catholic Church, you don't teach people that we're doing that in the same way I'm talking to you now, and you run with the idea, don't you? So, but like I say, bad theology is always your your downfall, and everyone who trusts in you. So the first thing you need to remember, okay, because I don't know what my angels are going to do, because I'm quite happy, and they know I am. I'm courageous. And I will take, whatever. I was nailed to a cross for a long time, and it was really, unbelievably horrible experience. But like I say, I'm pretty hard. I mean, Rob said to me, who lived next to me when I was living in that fiberglass boat, he goes, you must be as hard as nails, because I could never do that. Okay, I'm tough, yeah. So, I mean, I'll put whatever. So, but so that's the first thing you need to remember. So I'm not. My angels have not said to me, Russ, we're standing down, or Russ, we're. In fact, my angels, I'll tell you now. Well, they've told me that they're going to protect me. So, I'll tell you how they did that. I asked them what would happen if I go into the Vatican to negotiate your peaceful surrender, and I had a vision of you pulling off this stunt, whereby I've mentioned it before, whereby my angel on the second pass, you couldn't see anyone was in there in the room, and you obviously, again, bad theology, always your downfall. You obviously didn't expect my angels to respond in this way. So you picked up this guy was coming towards me on the second time. My angel knew his intent. He was lifted up backwards off the floor slowly, and he was lifted up into the air, right to the top of this massive roof. I don't know, 100 foot tall, 60 foot tall. I don't know. It was massive, and impaled, dead, hanging there for the Pope's delegation to see. So you got a bit of a shock there, because you obviously, again, always bad theology. You obviously thought that it's going to be like Jesus, and we're going to go into the Vatican, and we're just going to lay down for you. You misunderstand. You always misunderstand, and get things wrong. So forget that idea of they know not what they do, because we made sure you know what you do. Okay, so. Yeah, you might get a bit of a shock. I mean, we might be leading you into a massive trap. In fact, haven't you seen a pattern? Aren't you starting to see a pattern? That's exactly what we are doing. So, the second thing is, or a third thing, or fourth, or whatever I'm on to now. I've said before things like you will be severely punished beyond your wildest imagination. Well, if you have a look in the Book of Revelation, you'll see that the dogs and the riffraff, They're separated. They're not in paradise, right? And what you might just discover is we don't do anything. I mean, let's, we don't. We're not severely. I'm not torturing anyone. Nor are my people torturing anyone. When you stand, I gave you a hint before. When you stand in the presence of spiritual Israel, the pure, the elect, you may find that you are not the person who you currently are. In other words, when it's all stripped away and you're standing there and you're suddenly thinking to yourself, what have I done? What I went mad. I went completely mad. What have I done? What have I done? Yeah, you cast yourself into eternal extinction. We don't have to do anything. You'll agree yourself that you need to go and make yourself extinct. Okay? And your imagination at the moment, because of the way you are, because of all the shit that you've shoved into you, that you can't imagine that now. That's just what I mean when I say beyond your wildest imagination, beyond your I can't remember exactly what words I use, but it is at the moment beyond your imagination to conceive that, to imagine that. But you honestly will feel that. You feel that's how you feel. Okay. So I'm warning you that we don't have to do any of those things, but also by the measure you meet. There's another one that you forgot. Yeah. So first of all, you're not. It's not a case of forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, because we made sure you do know what you do by that prophecy being delivered. Secondly, by the measure you meet and intent. So, if you come down looking for me with the intent and the measure, and we already know in advance what it is, so we don't have to wait for you to do it first, right? And your intent is to, I don't know, kill me. Then, by the measure you meet. Do you understand now? So things are a little bit different this time round. Yeah, have I explained that to you? It's been clearly demonstrated to me that things are a little bit different this time round. Now, as far as me killing lots of Roman Catholic priests, okay, here's something that I'm going to promise you. Okay? I'm going to shut down Babylon. If you kill me, and you have to, because that's the only way I can do it. Revelation 18, as far as I can see, God remembered is a code word that God is going from in God incarnate to God all knowing and all seeing. And I'm going to then go and nudge this Islamist who I can feel the weight of his conscience. He doesn't want to kill people. He doesn't want to kill Catholics. He really doesn't. But he's I've got to remember, I am the God of. I was specifically told. When the when I opened when I was given the keys to the bottomless pit and told that I was fulfilling the next prophecy, and I was controlling the Mohammedans, and suddenly in the world, as you can see, all hell's broke loose with which is me letting the keys out, which is you, because it can all be stopped now if you accept the second coming, accept what I'm saying, and start talking to me. But I'm not going to until such a time, because it's again. Yeah, all I'm doing, I'm not commanding them to do this, but I'm not putting them back in the bottomless pit. Again, Isaiah 24, what are we doing here? The scientists will tell you that, I don't know, I haven't been told what the science is, but presumably it's a magnetic polar shift. That's what it looks like. That's what they're saying it is. And, this is something that is a naturally occurring occurrence, like once every 10,000 years or something. And, as far as I'm concerned, earthquakes. Why did I create earthquakes and things like this? It's a refreshing. It's part of the rejuvenation of the creation process. That's what earthquakes are. That's what all these things are. They're necessary evils to create or rejuvenate the earth. And of course, what is Isaiah 24 really all about? It's about rejuvenating the earth. We're going to get rid of all the nuclear power plants in one go. It's going to be pretty bad for not pretty bad. It's going to be horrendous for the few people that survive, but we'll be helping them. And everything starts all over again because you've made a right mess of it, and it doesn't seem possible for me to get any sense into you, and for there to be any other cleansing process or healing process. So what I'm telling you is that I'm not going to kill anyone. I'm not, because I'm not. When I destroy Babylon, and it will be destroyed, and it will be destroyed by Chernobyl, you're going to find out that nobody dies. Certainly, it's going to be my best intention to make sure that nobody dies. Okay, and you may just find out that separation from spiritual Israel and being cast out and separated from us, is punishment beyond your imagination, because it is. But it's not me doing it. Again, it's just me saying, look, or saying, look, sorry, but go over there. Go over there. We don't want anything to do with you. Yeah, we're not going to torture you or anything. We don't. There's no hell. We're not like that. We're not like you. Okay. So even the people, think about this, Roman Catholic people who, and we know what you're thinking. Remember, we can read your minds. We know what you're thinking. So you're already, in deep shit just for thinking this. When you killed all these people, and when the Protestants likewise did so, both of you thought you were in the right. You actually genuinely thought you had a mandate from God to do this, and you were in the right. Again, this time there's no excuses. You're in the wrong. Okay, so there is no other God. There is no Lucifer. There is no anyone else you can be working for. That was all false church tradition. So we've delivered this prophecy right in front of you. Huh? So you've got no excuses. So you know what you do. So you won't be forgiven. Won't be Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And also, by the measure ye meet. Now, so far, you have just put, suppression contracts out on me, and you haven't, killed me. So, by the measure you meet. If I was shutting down the Roman Catholic Church, I'd be putting suppression contracts onto you, and but you escalate things, which you're destined to do, because the whole world's going to learn in hindsight, because you will find out. I promise you, absolutely promise you. They haven't delivered this Chernobyl prophecy for nothing. My angels, they've delivered it because the whole world's going to know. Chernobyl is synonymous with you killing God again, and the end of the world. And it's going to be a few years as well. It's going to be a gap between now and Isaiah 24. And like Isaiah 24, we're not doing anything. We're just not stopping it. I can stop this magnetic polar shift as God, right? I can stop it. I'm not causing it, because it's a naturally occurring thing. You're going to be going around in all the continents are going to be shifting, and you're going to be having a not very pleasant experience. But hey, I'm not doing it. I'm just not stopping it. That's the way we work. So again, my angels are not going to nudge Islamists that kill you. However, read the prophecy carefully. What are we throwing down here? The great city of Babylon. We're throwing down Vatican City. Now, does that necessarily mean we're killing anyone? Hello? Yeah. What happens with nuclear pollution? It makes it an area uninhabitable. Yeah. That's all I'm saying here. So, be careful. Because bad theology always leads you right into our traps. Okay? Bye.